Hello, hello, hello. It's Peg, and today I am working on something for Gina B. Aaron's design team. Gina has an Etsy store where she has all kinds of digitals and stamps and stencils and oh my gosh, all kinds of stuff. So go over there and check it out. The link will be down below. If you use my link, you'll get a 15% discount. But let me show you what I'm working on. I've got a piece of grunge board here. And I've also got these neutral fabrics. These are adhesive back fabrics. Picked it up on sale someplace. And what I did was I ran a piece of this through my printer. And so I stuck that, because it's adhesive back, on the back of this piece of grunge paper. Now this could be chipboard, this could be anything. Then I printed off another sheet of Gina's designs, her Digi Designs, and I'm just going to try to line this up best I can here. I'm not really good at lining things up, but I ran this through the Xyron to get it sticky, because I wanted it to stick down on my board here. And let's see, I've got some other stuff. What do I have here? I've got decorative tapes. Let me find a decorative tape. I don't even know if it's going to show. But I'm just going to finish off this edge, because what I'm going to do is die cut this. So I'm just going to put a piece of this tape on here to finish off this edge. And get a pair of scissors wherever I put them. I've been sick this week, guys. So disorganized, I tell you. There they are, buried underneath. Okay, so make sure that this is long enough to cover that edge. So cut this down. This is just a piece of duct tape. Just showing you ideas, okay? And then I'm going to wrap the edge of my journal, because this is where I printed my original piece. So I'm going to wrap the edge of that. Now I don't even know if this is going to become the edge. We'll see. Wrap this edge around. Just want to get it coated. And then I can keep on going. You know, I can layer stuff in here. I can paint on it, but whatever. And now I've got this cool surface, which is going to be, I think, my journal cover. So let me go die cut this, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I ended up cutting out this piece from a wrap journal die. This is an Eileen die from Sizzix, Eileen Hull, excuse me, die from Sizzix, and it makes a wrap journal. And I'm just, you know, laying down some pieces of washi. I wanted to add a little something else to the background here. Don't really want the white. So I'm going to pick these neutral greens and blues that go with the page, if I can get them out of here. Yeah, maybe I'll get it out of there. Take this one first. And I can scooch them over. There we go. All right. But I'm liking this color combination on here. This should give it a little more stability. And get one here. That's enough of that one. And I like this measuring tape, so I'm going to add that too. Because I can. Because I can. Okay, so there is our back side. Here is our front side with our nicely printed cover. And the prompt for this month really had nothing to do with the journal. It was all about beads. And so what I planned on doing with this, okay, here's the die from Eileen Hull. It is a wrap journal 662816. And it looks like this when it's all finished, okay? What I planned on doing with this, because here's my binding, you know, it does the scoring and everything around the edge, and it wraps. I can see this is going to take a little bit of adhesive to keep it stuck down. Some of these tapes are not the best. That's okay. That's what glue sticks are for. But I just want to give you an idea. So here's my journal. Let me bend this because it's got these crease lines, and that one went through, so I need to put some tape on that right there. Let me get a big washi like this. Yeah, that should do the trick. So sometimes these dies will cut all the way through. If you don't, you know, I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. I didn't really have a measurement or anything when I started all of this. I just said, oh, let's make a journal to put that on. So you guys will do a much better job because you'll figure out just what depth you need to have. And I don't know that the packaging really tells you how thick a material to use. You can probably go to Eileen's website and find out. Looks like she cut this one out of leather. And I probably could have had a thicker material here. But if you get one of these, you can try it. Or, you know, you can cut your own out by hand. Just cut a piece of chipboard, right? Punch some holes. That's all it is. All right. So here is my, okay, now I'm getting my wrap. And here's my cover. And it's going to go like this, right? So, yeah, this is where the threads are going to come through to put your papers in. And so what I was thinking is, since we're doing beads and things, I would use this as an embellishment on the front of my journal. And I'm going to create a bead or something else to go in the middle of this flower. So I'll be right back. So now that I have my cloth on the cover and my background here, what I'm doing is I'm just taking some gloss gel medium and I'm sealing these things in here, and then I will heat set that and get that to seal up so that I can flip it over and do the other side. So I have one coat of the gloss gel medium on here. I'm just going to take some gesso and kind of scruffy up the edges a little bit. looking a little bit too pristine for me right now. This is just a, you know, a scruffy little brush. And I don't want to get a whole lot on here, but I just want to add a little bit of that. Maybe brighten it up just a hair. Grab a paper towel. Knock that back just a little bit. Then I'm going to grab stencil. I've got different stencils here from Gina. Trying to figure out what I want to use on here. Oh, I like that. I also like that, and I like the stars. Okay. So I think I've made my choice. I want to put something else on here to brighten it a little bit. So I'm going to grab this and a sponge and just get out a little bit of that gesso. Doesn't have to be pristine. I'll get a little more in there. Just, you know, I don't usually do this with a with a brush, but it's what I've got out here. And I wanted to get that background lightened up just a hair. So by adding it with the brush, I can move it around with the sponge a little bit. And if it gets to be just a little bit too much, just take your sponge, dab it back a bit. Okay, so I'm liking that. I also, let me get that in some water. I also want to just get a pen. And I've got my trusty pens here. Let's see if this will work on here, if it's dry enough. Let me dry that quickly. See if we can get this to work on here. Give these stars just a little more definition this way. And it can be scratchy, it doesn't have to be perfect. I kind of like the non-perfectness of this. Okay, and we got this going on over here. Another one here. Here. And there. We just keep moving across here. Remember, this is fabric, and that's part of the reason that it's got that scratchy surface, because fabric is definitely not smooth like paper. So, all right, and we get a little bit of this. I just like what that white is adding here. Brighten that up just a bit. Okay. So now we've got that done. And I started looking at the embellishments. I'll close my gesso and my gel medium up before I have an accident. And, you know, I think I'm going to not put that away just yet. I've got this white gesso. I think I want to edge this burlap flower just a little bit with the gesso too. Make it look a little more distressed. Might have to get some of that out. Okay, should be way more than enough. And, whoops. Okay, get the fuzzies off. But I do want to edge this a little bit. Okay, happy with that. So when this wraps around like so, this is going to be my front cover, and I'm going to have a string coming out here to wrap over this flower. So what I want to do is capture this on the edge here, which means I need to punch a hole through all of those layers, and that calls for a big bite. So I've got this Granddaddy, and I want to switch it back so it's making a bigger hole. I'm going to slip this in, make sure I get it over the middle here. I'm just going to punch a hole. Right through there, okay? And the same thing on here. I need to figure out where this is going to be. It's going to wrap. So I need it kind of centered in this piece. So I'm going to punch a hole right about there in the center. Now you guys can measure and all that. I just eyeball it. You know, I've got a hole there. It works for me. And then this is going to mount on here. What I want to do is put something on the back side to stabilize it, because I don't want that to come through. So let's see, what have I got here? So I looked through my supplies and I came up with a couple of ideas. I have some of this stretchy cord. You can see I got it out of a clearance bin someplace. I don't even know if I paid 15 cents for it, but yeah, it's stretchy cord, and because it's black, I thought it would be a nice contrast. I do also have some of this in a white, but this is how I'm going to do my binding on this piece. I'm just going to weave in and out of here and create my, I think I want to go across this way. Get enough out here to do all the holes at once. This way and up this way. So I've got something to put my journals into. Okay, I'm going to go back through here, down from the top. You guys have probably seen any number of videos showing how you can, different ways that you can do your finish on here. This is going out to the back. Yeah, anyway, I'll get that figured out. But what you end up with is a piece in here of elastic that you can slip your notebooks or your little journals that you're making in here. And these little composition books fit in here perfectly, you know, to make a cover for your composition books. I need to bend this a little bit to make sure it's closing right. But I'll finish that up here in just a little bit. But I want to show you how I'm doing this, because it's all about beads and buttons today, right? So I got some wire. This is some vintage natural brass wire, and because it's crooked, I just take my these are nylon tipped pliers, and you just straighten your wire like this. Now I don't want a perfectly straight wire. I want to create a crook in it, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a button through there. So I'm just going to grab it here and bend it over, because this loop is going to go over my button. And I got my big jar of buttons out, and I fished a few of these out for the ones that I thought might look pretty good on my cover. So let me just cut this off and set it aside. What I want here is to come up through here with my button. So I'm going to pick, I got a 2-hole button that I want to use. What did I do with my wire? Here's my wire. And I'm going to go, let's see, I want this like this. So this has to go up and down. So let me get a little bit more on here and cut this off. Because I'm going to thread my button onto the wire, because I don't want this to pull through my cover material. And this is how I'm going to keep it from doing that. So I've got my button threaded on. And then I'm going to take those pieces and I'm going to put it through the cover. So this is the back side of my cover. And it's just going to have that button there to keep it from pulling through. Then I'm going to come to the front side of my cover. And I'm going to want to leave a little bit of headroom, because I want to make a loop that comes out of here that's going to wrap around that whole flower thing. So I'm just going to take my ends and I'm going to twist them around one another. And in order to do that, I probably need to hold them stable. So I'm going to grab a pair of pliers and hold those together and twist. That's all I need, is a twist on this side to give enough play, and I can just, you know, bend that right back up again, straight up this way, bend this one up. So I've got 2 of these, because now I want to go through this flower. So remember, we punched a hole, and I'm going to thread my flower on. And now I'm going to take that short piece and I'm going to wrap that around. Let me see if I can get this in here any closer. I'm going to take the short piece and I'm going to wrap it around the longer piece. So I want to take my pair of pliers, I'm going to hold this one up, and this one is going to wrap around that. And let me get my round nose so I can put a crook in it to get it wrapping. This is the fussy bit. But what I want to do is create a capture for my wire. You may have to push it down with your fingers and fiddle. Get it through the first hole. Slide it on down. Straighten that out. Okay, now I want to take that end and pierce through. See if I can get it down through there. Just like to have the appearance of it being tied off. And if that doesn't work, we'll just glue it, you know? Yeah, not gonna work. So here's the deal. Don't fuss with it. Cut that puppy off. Pull that end out. This is going to capture it enough anyway. Just going to put that end right down in there. Push it down home. Maybe. Some things can just be a little bit fussy. So that's looking pretty good. I just have to do my stringing, get my book in there, and we'll be done. But I wanted to tell you, Gina has all kinds of digitals. This is what I used, is the digital art. I'll try to put the links to her store down below. Here are some more tags that I ran off to use in my journal. And I just, I ran them through the Xyron so that I can cut them out and stick them on something. I can even stick it on the front of this composition book if I want to make that cool. So let me take a tag here. And I think I want to cut off that bottom. And this edge. Because what I'm going to do is stick it on the front. So let me get this separated so you can see what that is like. I need something sharp. Where's my X-Acto utility knife? And split that edge. Come on, come off of there. Sometimes they're fussy. There we go. Now I've got the backer. Safety first. Click that back down. Okay, so now I can cover the front of my composition book with that sticker I made, just like so. And I can do the back side too if I want to. And I'm just going to take a sand block and hit that edge. And I'll take it right off. Just like so. So that will coordinate with the interior of my book in here, like this. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. Like this. And there we have it. Okay, guys. Okay, almost forgot. If you're looking for some of those special finishing touches, I have an eyelet here. And what I've done is I've punched a hole from the back side. And I'm just going to push that eyelet through the hole. Yeah, push the eyelet through the hole. Or maybe not. Maybe I need a bigger hole. Cut one more size here. Looks like it should be big enough. Try that again. There we go. I just wasn't strong enough before. Okay, so I've got that eyelet pushed through the hole. I've got my strings done. And what I'm going to do is change out my tip. This is a We Are Memory Keeper hole punch and eyelet setter. I'm going to take my eyelet setter and put it down on top of this. And actually, I think I'm going to get the bigger one because I really want to spread this out because I want it to grab. So I'm just going to set it down on there and I'm going to push. And sorry about the noise. And what I've done then is I've set that. I'm going to take something heavy. Just make sure that it's grabbing it. And there we go. Now I have my through coming through the back side here. So this is not going to wear. And then I can take my cording. I'm just going to double that up. Remember, we made our book. It's going to go in here like so. And then the cording is going to run through here. So I just need to figure out how much I need. So I'm going to put one in through. And I'm going to, actually I'm going to put 2 ends through and make a loop. I'm going to make a loop. Put that through the through hole like so. Because this is going to wrap over the top and then this is going to come over. And what I want to have happen is for this to wrap around the whole book. No, I don't need to wrap the whole book. I just need to wrap the flower. Okay, get it right. This can come around the flower and hold the book closed. So I need to tighten this up. So that's it, guys. Mini journal with beads, buttons, flowers, whatever you want to call it. And all the designs coming from Gina's Etsy store. So be sure and shop with Gina and check out the other designers that have made projects this month. It's hashtag Gina B. Ahrens Designs. And you'll find more inspiring projects. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it's not too long a video for you. I just wanted to make sure that you understood how this whole thing went together, whether you're making it from scratch or using a die like I did. But here's the final shots, and I hope you enjoy. Bye for now.